Hey kids, do you like over-the-top gore, mime-like killer clowns, and B-list acting? Well, stay tuned because in today's video we'll be discussing the 2016 film Terrifier, written by Damien Leone. Now, before I jump into the video, I have to let you guys know I made a Patreon account. Click the link in the description below to have your name featured in the beginning of all my latest videos. Now, without further ado, let's jump into it. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Derek from Derek's Horror Stuff, and in today's video we'll be discussing the 2016 indie horror film Terrifier. This film was written, co-produced, and directed by Damien Leone and stars Jenna Cannell, Samantha Scafidi, Catherine Corcoran, and David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown. The film follows Tara Hayes as she finds herself as Art's next target on Halloween night. It marks the second feature film appearance of Art the Clown's character, after Leone's 2013 anthology film All Hallows Eve, which incorporated footage from the previous short films that were also directed by Leone and featured the same character. Now, when I make review videos, I like to make them scene by scene, so sit back, relax, buckle up, because it is gonna be a bumpy ride. So we start the movie staring at a dingy old TV set. As the TV fades in from static, we see what appears to be a news interview between a female news anchor and a very disconfigured young woman. As the interview plays on, we discover that the young woman was attacked by none other than Art the Clown. The news anchor then mentions that there is speculation that Art the Clown may not be dead, and the victim states that she saw it happen. Then, Art himself kicks the TV in, smashing it. Now, this right here is a really cool opening. We watch Art get ready for the day, doing his makeup, getting all dressed up, all while a creepy song plays in the background. I really like how this is going so far, just going into the movie. So here's where the movie really starts, or ends. That's right. It's one of those movies that clearly used the ending of the movie for the beginning. Nothing wrong with that. It draws the viewer in. It drew me in. So we cut to the next scene. It's the female news anchor again, and now she's in a dressing room. She's on the phone, and she's talking about what hot shit she is, and what a gross guest she just had on her show. Yuck. Definitely a Karen. So she hears a noise in the dressing room and goes to investigate. She turns around and gets her freaking eyeballs gouged out the back of her skull. Blood spatters everywhere. It is a gore fest, and while she's laying on the ground just gasping for air, all bloodied up, the disfigured victim girl sits on the ground next to her and laughs maniacally. Well, not really like that. That's like Dracula. Boom. Title screen. Terrifier. Fade into two drunk white chicks stumbling down the road. Now, as they argue about which one of them is a better impaired driver, they see a strange man walking towards them in a clown costume, carrying a garbage bag full of God knows what. While Tara is initially concerned about this creepy clown, her friend Dawn decides to yell over to him to inform him that her friend wants that white clown D. The two girls turn to each other to argue, and when they turn back around, the clown is gone. Tara and Dawn walk to a diner to try to sober up before they drive home. There they meet their clown friend Art once again. Art sits at a booth away from them and stares at Tara, dropping some really creepy mime vibes. Now, I know he's a clown, but he looks like a mime. Dawn's drunk ass goes over to Art and harasses him for a selfie, straight up assaulting him. Like, honestly, I'd kill this bitch too. Spoiler alert. Tara asks Dawn what's wrong with her, and Dawn replies, well, what, did you think he was going to hack me up into little pieces or something? Damn, another spoiler. Art takes a quarter off of one of the tables, walks over to a bubblegum machine, and gets a little plastic ring that he pulls out, and he walks it over to Tara and puts it on her finger. Art then walks away to the bathroom. The owner of the diner then walks into the bathroom while Art is still in there to see that Art had done some artwork of his own, poopy writing, and kicks him out on his ass. You're out of here. Tara and Dawn walk back to their car to find out it has a flat tire. Tara's phone is dead, so she uses Dawn's phone to call her sister for a ride. Sister doesn't really want to give her a ride, but she does. Family first, right? As the girls sit in Dawn's car waiting for a ride, Art returns back to the diner where he beheads the owner and carves up the cook like a roast beef. Now, this is another very gory, over-the-top scene, but very enjoyable if you're into that sort of stuff. So, needless to say, I liked it. So, Tara has the booze and has to use the bathroom bad. Like, so bad, she walks up to a creepy janitor outside this creepy-ass building and asks to use his toilet. Bad. He's hesitant, but he says, you know, whatever, just make it quick, lady. He leads her to some disgusting bathroom in some weird-ass garage full of rats, And he asks her if she's going to need a hand getting back out of there, and she says, nah, man, I'm good. Meanwhile, Dawn is back at the car, and she's listening to the radio, and she hears some news about a double murder that just happened at the diner that they were just at. And the assailant matched the description of that weird mimey clown guy that they just happened to see. What are the odds? Passenger side door opens, and as Dawn is about to look over and tell Tara about the news she just heard on the radio, she looks over, and to her surprise, she finds the bloodied Art the Clown sitting right beside her in the car. We cut back to Tara, who, after using the bathroom, decides it's a better idea to start wandering this scary-ass building all alone looking for cat noises than to just dip out the front door. After all, it's not like she's waiting for a ride or anything. So she enters this dark room full of tires. I'm not really sure why it's full of tires. It's some sort of a warehouse, a huge building. Maybe an abandoned garage or something. I'm not really sure. Anyway, some spooky old lady emerges from the tires with a fake baby. Now, I'd say her acting is bad, but honestly, it's like it's on purpose, so I can't really tell. Maybe it's actually really good. She's purposely acting badly. I don't know. She assumes Tara is a new tenant in the building and asks if she wants to just chill with her and her fake baby. But Tara declines. Bitch. So Tara walks upstairs to find, you guessed it, Art the Clown. She runs away and immediately trips over nothing, as is tradition, and she continues through the garage to try to hide. In true cinema killer fashion, we see Art the Clown just slowly walking around this garage, trying to seek out Tara. I don't know why I did that. He's not that big. When Tara no longer sees Art in her line of sight, she assumes it's time to leave, and Art jumps out and attacks her, stabbing her in the leg multiple times with a knife. See, that's why you should never assume. You make an asshole out of yourself. As Art tries to grab her and strangle her and gouge her eyes out, for some reason that's a big thing in this movie, gouging people's eyes out. I'm not really sure why. It's just a running theme of the movie. I mean, I will admit it's kind of cool. Tara stabs him with his own scalpel, which allows her to make a narrow escape away from Art. She doesn't get very far, however, before she's stuck waiting in one spot again, waiting to see if Art will notice her. Art almost finds her, but Tara throws a rock or something and distracts him. Tara makes it to the front door, but of course it's locked. So she goes upstairs instead, where she tries to open a window but can't get it open. Now, maybe it's because I'm a dude, maybe it's because of my thinking, I don't know, but I am kind of wondering why she didn't try to break a window. She didn't even attempt it. She just, one push, didn't go up. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'm out. Can't get this window. Just a thought. Anyway, Art finds her again, injects her with some sort of Bill Cosby and she's out. Tara wakes up taped to a chair in the garage. She sees Art messing around with his garbage bag full of weapons. He teases her with them and then walks over to a sheet that is hanging from the ceiling. He pulls the sheet to reveal Tara's friend Dawn hanging upside down by her legs with nothing on but her panties. Now, this is probably considered the best part of the movie. This seems to be the part that everyone talks about and everyone remembers about this movie. It's the go-to. If you remember this movie, you remember this scene, and you put them together and so on and so forth. It's a very gory, vile scene. It's so vile, in fact, that I actually can't show it to you in this video. So if you want to see it, you're going to have to actually watch the movie, or maybe you can find it somewhere else. But I'm not going to risk my channel getting shut down for this video. But Art walks over and with a hacksaw cuts Dawn from cooch to smooch. Now, a few notes on this. You definitely can't just hack somebody in half in that direction with a hacksaw. I don't think that's how it works. I'm no expert in this field, so, I could be wrong. If you have more experience than I do, let me know in the comments, but I don't think it would work. There's a lot of bones, there's a lot of, organs, there's a lot of things that would get in your way to just go straight through the body like that with a hacksaw. He didn't even have a problem with it. He just kept going. Like, I can't cut a piece of wood with a hacksaw without getting stuck. So I don't know. It just seems impractical. And secondly, for some reason, I feel like I've seen this before. Oh, that's right. Bone Tomahawk. Bone Tomahawk came out 1 year prior to this film and had almost the exact same scene. Now, I'm not trying to discredit Art the Clown, and I'm not trying to say that one person stole from another person.
Ooh, he's stealing! Ooh!
It's quite possible that with this film being, released a year before, they could have filmed earlier, and, same thing with Terrifier, and nobody quite knew what was happening. It was just coincidence, but I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think? You think it's coincidence? You be the judge. So we watch Art slice Dawn in half like a freaking bagel, while Tara watches and screams in fear and disgust. She manages to break free from the chair that she's in, and she grabs a knife and she stabs Art in the back. Dude still doesn't make a single noise, not a peep. What a great mime. I mean clown. People get mad when you call him a mime. Now at this point, Tara is hiding in the garage again, and Art is slowly going around looking for her again. Now I will admit I do like a nice game of cat and mouse, but I just feel like this goes on forever. There's just so much repetition, like move on. So Tara sees Art, runs over behind him, sneaks up behind him, grabs a 2x4 and whacks him in the head. Now Art's hurt, he falls down to the ground, and as he's about to get up, he grabs into his ankle and he pulls out a little gun and he shoots Tara. Creepy doll lady again. I wonder what she eats. So something to note here, Art smiles a lot through this movie. In fact, it seems like he smiles the most when he's actually killing people. Really, the only time he's killing someone and we don't see him smile is when he's shooting Tara. Almost as if he's getting no enjoyment out of it. Maybe it's too easy. Maybe, it's too quick of a kill. It's not enough torture. I don't know. But that is something that I've noticed. It seems like he smiles through the rest of them. And when he has to use his gun, he's not smiling. So he's not getting enjoyment out of it, which is kind of a cool concept. It's kind of cool if you, read through the lines there. Art stands over her. And as he's about to take his finishing shot, he runs out of ammo. At this point, Tara's sister Vicky finally shows up. Like, damn, bitch, how far were you? We're 45 minutes into the movie at this point. You could have saved your friends. You could have saved your sister. This is your fault, Vicky. This is your fault. You could have saved her. So as Art's reloading his gun, he hears Don's cell phone go off, and he sees that it's Tara's sister texting them and letting them know that she is outside in front of the building. So he texts her back and says, Don is sick, come around back. Art makes his way back through the garage, but first he stops to take a selfie with the pieces of Dawn that are still left and right. That's funny. He then unloads another 5 shots into Tara's face, still looking unhappy to be using his gun. The creepy baby lady sees this and runs off. She sees the janitor and she runs to him for help and says that there's a clown trying to kill somebody in the basement, but he thinks she's insane, so he tells her to back the f*** off or he's going to call the police. At this point, he hears Vicky banging at the front door, and he's going down to see what the hell's going on around here. Tries to call up his buddy, the other exterminator / janitor, but doesn't quite make it because Art sneaks up behind him and bashes him in the head with a hammer. Vicky wanders her way back around the building into that weird-ass garage. While Vicky is looking for Tara, we cut to the weird, creepy homeless lady that is looking for her baby, and she can't find her baby because Art has it. So she's in this weird hallway. I don't quite know where they're at. Some hallway with a lot of pipes and stuff. I don't know. But we see Art holding the creepy baby in the hallway. So now he's holding her baby and she's incredibly concerned. It's kind of a cool scene. I don't know. It adds a weird aspect to the movie. I don't get it. I don't, but it's cool. She tries to ask Art for kindness, but he doesn't respond. She asks him if he's ever felt a mother's touch, and then she caresses his face ever so gently. Then Art makes this creepy smile and he starts sucking his thumb? Man, I thought I had daddy issues. Vicky calls Don's cell phone and listens for the sound of the ring. She follows the ring and finds Don hanging from the ceiling, cut in half. She begins to run and she finds someone on the floor face down covered in blood that appears to be a woman with long, dark hair, similar to Tara's. She assumes it's Tara, so the body turns over and we find out it's Art the Clown who has scalped the weird creepy lady, so he's now wearing her hair on his head, and he has cut her tits off, so now he is wearing her bosoms on top of his gross clown body. Vicky runs away, and now she's again being slowly chased by Art the Clown, who, at this point, the only way I could describe how he looks is like a mix between Buffalo Bill and like a Marilyn Manson superfan. So now another person shows up to this creepy-ass building, because why the hell not? It's the other janitor / exterminator. He's pissed off that he can't get in, and Mike, the original exterminator, is not answering the phone because his phone was smashed by Art the Clown, and then he was smashed by Art the Clown. But then the guy realizes that there's a spare key outside. He lets himself in, and he doesn't really last more than a couple minutes, if that, before he's decapitated by Art the Clown. Now, this is another super gory scene. Like, Art takes his head right off his body. Like, you see him cut it, and then he picks it up, and then he holds it, and he puts it down. Okay, that's cool. and then he drop kicks that motherfucker. Now, honestly, Damien Leone did a fantastic job with this scene. I mean, he did a lot of special effects in this movie and did a great job with all of them. I honestly kind of wish we talked about this scene more than we do the Dawn scene where she gets hacksawed, because at least this is original content. Now we go back to Vicky again, and we see her playing the same exact game of cat and mouse that we saw with Tara and Art the Clown. Now, like I said, I kind of wish they had just limited this down some, because it does get awfully repetitive awfully fast. Art almost gets her, she gets away, and then she goes to find her sister Tara strapped in a chair with her eyeballs gouged out. Classic Art. Now, it is kind of cool. They added like a weird circus sign and some lights on Tara. I don't know why they did that. I'm guessing because Art is a clown. I don't completely understand why it was happening, but it is cool because it adds a little bit of a, dare I say, artsy feel to the film. Art finds Vicky weeping over her dead sister's body, and he starts whipping her like she owes him something. That is 40 lashes for show. The janitor walks up behind Art the Clown and smashes him with some sort of a bucket. He calls 911 for help and tells him to hurry. He attempts to break Vicky out of the building, but all the doors are locked from the inside, so as he's looking for something to cut the lock from the inside, Art sneaks up behind him and hits him in the head with the same exact bucket. Then Art gives him the old concrete smile with clown shoes. Now he goes after Vicky. Honestly, at this point, it's just another like 5-10 minutes of cat and mouse yet again. Nothing really to mention here. Vicky hears the cop car sirens coming and she thinks that it's safe, so she goes to look out the door and she gets smashed by a car. It's Art the Clown. He's in the exterminator's truck. He's outside. He smashes through the door in the truck and runs right over Vicky. Art gets out of the truck, leans over, and then he just begins to eat her face. Yep, he's eating it. That's some bath salt shit. So the cops have their guns drawn at Art and they tell him put his hands up or they're gonna shoot. Art turns around slowly, pulls out his gun, puts it in his mouth, and blows his own brains out. The cops then learn that somehow, by some way, shape, or form or miracle, Vicky is still breathing. She's still alive. So we cut to the morgue and they have 2 bodies coming in, which is presumably Dawn and Art the Clown. They describe it as a murder-suicide. The lights flicker, the phone starts to ring off the hook, we start to hear some weird sounds, things get dark, the coroner turns around, looks at the body bag, and Art the Clown jumps out and attacks him, still alive. 1 year later, we see Vicky still alive in a hospital, but incredibly deformed. The last words spoken in this movie are, "Good luck with your interview tomorrow," which leads us right back to the beginning of the movie. Credits. And that's the movie. So for what it's worth, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I liked the blood and gore. I enjoyed the cat and mouse to an extent. I really enjoyed Art the Clown. I think that David Howard Thornton did a fantastic job of taking a character who had absolutely no lines and just putting all that life into him. And I think Damien Leone did a really cool job with the direction he went and the special effects specifically. The supporting actors all did, really decent for a B-list movie compared to, a lot of the others. But there are also some things I didn't like. So I don't like that the movie had to rely on the whole cat and mouse thing for the entire hour and 20 minutes of it. It's fun, I get it, but come on. I mean, we just keep taking different characters and we're just doing the same thing over and over. It, like I said before, it gets very repetitive very fast. Change it up a bit. I also don't really like that there's absolutely no backstory to anything. I get it, like I said, I know it's one of those movies, it's supposed to be like a campy, gory movie, where it's just a slaughter fest, which is cool in its own right, but I don't know, I just kind of wish I knew something a little bit more about, like, Art the Clown himself, like, where did he come from, is he human? Clearly he's not human, because at the end he's still alive, after taking a self-inflicted blast to the dome, so, like, what's his deal? And what's like with the crazy bag lady? Like, was she just filler? She was definitely just filler. Like, what else was she there for? She just lived in this weird abandoned warehouse with a fake ass baby. I just feel like I had plenty of time with all of these characters, and yet I left knowing so little about them. And I kind of wish I cared just like slightly more, because then I would be more affected when they were actually killed. Again, I understand it's the type of movie it is. It doesn't have to be like that. I guess I can't expect that. But I don't know. For me, I just think that would have worked a little bit better. So fun fact about that, I actually wrote something similar on a post that somebody had about the movie where I said I wish there was more backstory. And David Howard Thornton, the actor who played Art the Clown here, wrote back to me personally. And he told me that I must not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre if that's the way I feel about Terrifier. And honestly, I don't completely understand the correlation, because they're both slaughterfests, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre actually had a little bit of backstory to the characters. And And like Leatherface has his own backstory. Now, I understand it wasn't all put together in the first movie, but still, I think there's more to it. So to compare Terrifier to Texas Chainsaw Massacre just doesn't seem fair to me. I mean, let me know what you guys think, but those are kind of big shoes to be, comparing yours to. So I also don't love that they use the same kind of scene as Bone Tomahawk, because it's supposed to be their big scene, and it kind of bums me out that it's like not that original now that I know it was in Bone Tomahawk, or vice versa. Now again, I don't know who used it first. It could just be coincidence for all I know. It just seems odd. Anyway, my overall rating is a 3 out of 5 stars. Now, I know there's a big divide when it comes to this movie, and we've got a lot of people who give it a solid 5, but we've also got a lot of people who give it like a 1 or a 0. Let me know in the comments below what kind of person you are. Scale 1 to 5, what do you rate this movie? As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please remember to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all my new content. Follow me on social media so you can keep up to date with all my other updates. And click that Patreon link below to help support this channel. It really means a lot. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.